Oh my gosh. Just kidding. So I guess that's already an hour of me filming. Good morning, YouTube. Today I want to announce a few things. We're going to change our YouTube name to Mountain Tesla. I originally started this channel with drone footage, and that's why I called it Soaring Videos. I was doing drone footage, love flying drones. It's been a fun thing for me as a hobby. But this particular channel has really turned into more about the Tesla Cybertruck and how we use our Teslas on the mountain. So I am changing the name to Mountain Tesla. Also, I've gotten some feedback that I should really show more video, that people will fast forward if they don't want to see it, and totally agree. I'm just going to film and let people fast forward if they want to fast forward through it. But today I want to do a comparison video of the 2017 GMC diesel against the 2024 Tesla Cybertruck all-wheel drive non-foundation edition. So we're going to do a little bit of an overview of these two vehicles, talk a little bit about them, and then I'm going to go through all the advantages and disadvantages, I guess, but mostly advantages of the two different vehicles and what they do better than the other vehicle, I guess. And at the end, we'll kind of talk about what the new GMC offers that would be comparable to the year of the 2024 model. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, number one, ground clearance. So Tesla Cybertruck, 8 inches. GMC. Okay guys, so ground clearance on this truck, it says 8.4 inches. And I'm seeing about that, 8 inches here, a little bit of rock. But I could see that. Now, when you're going over things, obviously this pumpkin comes up and down. But this would be the true ground clearance. If you were to drive straight over something, you've got about 8.4 inches of ground clearance. Now, that's one up on the Tesla Cybertruck right now, as it's sitting at 8 inches. Let's look at the top of the trucks. Sitting next to each other, a relatively level area I tried to pick. You can see that the Cybertruck is a little bit lower than that. But wait a minute. I seem to recall a mode in here called off-road mode. Let's go ahead and see what that brings the truck to. The 8-inch clearance has now become around 14, but wait, it's still going. And you can hear the pump running. There's a little bit of that arm coming down, but overall, this is all flat ground clearance. So let's go take a look. So now, the Tesla Cybertruck seems to be winning the ground clearance game. Matter of fact, is now taller than the other truck. And overall, we are seeing almost 18 inches. Well, that looks like 17, yep. About 17 inches of ground clearance. 100%. 17 ground clearance, except for right at the wheels, which, you know, when you're going over stuff, those wheels are going to go up in the air. So, one up for Tesla Cybertruck in being taller, having more ground clearance. And you can see here is actually looking a lot tougher and taller than the GMC Duramax. A lot hanging down under that Duramax, and really nothing hanging down under the Tesla Cybertruck. So one of my most favorite features is the ability to have this truck go down to an 8-inch ground clearance, like a sports car feel. The center of gravity is very low in the battery pack, so in this big truck you feel the sway when you're turning tight corners. The Cybertruck, it just sport mode, down low, kicking butt, taking names like a sports car. And when you need to, there you go. It's making that truck will look a little silly. Now, keep in mind, this is out of the factory. No lifts, no aftermarket, anything. This is how you buy the truck. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so Cybertruck, I guess, wins on ground clearance. How about that rear wheel steering, guys? Let me jump way up in here. And here we go. Look at that. That is awesome and offers a lot of cool stuff. That is pretty cool. And that off-road mode is engaged via the screen and gives you all kinds of new stuff. But to get back, go dynamics, custom, and now we can actually change that ride height back down to entry so we can continue this video. But not everybody have seen the Cybertruck do this. Isn't that neat? I mean, how cool is that? Out of the factory, that your vehicle could adapt and change. You don't need the running boards to step out. It's automatically lowering itself to do that for you. Okay, so rear wheel steering, definitely a huge point up for the Tesla Cybertruck. How about all-wheel drive all the time? All the time. You don't have to worry about putting it in four-wheel drive. It's always ready. It's always in all-wheel drive. Definitely a point up. As I was trying to get this truck over here, all I did was barely come down my driveway slightly, and I couldn't even back up without it ripping up my driveway, so I had to put it in four-wheel drive just to do simple tasks, as there's no weight in the bed, so there's no traction back there. You have to put it in four-wheel drive. So if you have an issue with the four-wheel drive, or it doesn't engage, or you don't have a four-wheel drive truck, yeah, no good there. So definitely one up for the Cybertruck. How about instant torque? Cybertruck rating, I'm reading some of this, is 525 pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. And boy, I tell you, that's a rocket when you want to tow, or you just want to get out of the way of something. There's so much delay. You hit the pedal in the GMC, you're waiting, turbo's coming up, finally we're there, we're moving. Nothing like the Tesla Cybertruck. And what's the GMC would be a 7-second truck, is what I'm seeing online. So 4.1 seconds, 7 seconds. Now I know we're still comparing the age difference, but they're not going to be much different from the newer trucks. Exoskeleton durability. The stainless steel takes a bat without a dent, right? GMC steel dents easily. Okay, I wish I had a bat, I'd swing it, but let's take a look at this real quick. Oh geez, I mean, that's like a pop can, honestly, right? Let's come over here. It's moving, but that's solid, guys. You can hit it, you can bang it. You don't want to do that too much over here. You'll definitely leave a mark. You'll definitely leave a dent in this soft metal made on the GMC. All right, let's move on. Full self-driving. FSD handles city, improving as it goes along. GMC has basic cruise. GMC's new Super Cruise. It's only where it's programmed to do it. It's not reading the road live with all of its cameras. It's not thinking live. It's going off of some data live, but you can only do, now we're talking the new truck, so obviously this doesn't even have that. It's nowhere near where Tesla is when it comes to full self-driving. So another point, number 6 for the Tesla Cybertruck. How about the armored glass? Okay, this glass can handle up to class 4 hail rated. Remember this, guys? Remember when they went live on TV and broke the window? But how big of a stainless steel ball was that? And what would that stainless ball do to this glass? It would not only go through it, which it didn't go through on the Cybertruck, it would hit you and damage you, possibly kill you, and even go through the next window. Okay. So something that I love about my truck is on I-25, we get a lot of rocks And I've had rocks hit my windshield, and they do leave small little pits that you can feel with your fingernail, but no cracks at all. This window has cracks. It's got a big one up here. Not really cracks, but you know, the little bullseye looking things, they're on this windshield, and that's just what's going to happen. Another thing I want to say about the windshields is look at how many bugs hit that windshield because it's so up in the air and not aerodynamic. Where here, all the bugs are landing on the nose of the truck, right? And here it's just dirty, but not a lot of bugs. It's just dirt that I could clean off. Not the bugs, just right off. So you're not spending time scrubbing your windshield every time you stop to fuel up. So you can handle a hailstorm. You're going to feel a lot better. I can't wait to see these trucks actually do storm chases. They're going to be pretty awesome. Okay. How about the quiet cabin? The electric silence at 70 miles an hour is just way quieter versus the diesel roar. And I'm going to tell you that when I'm really listening and paying attention, this thing has so many more rattles going on, but the motor just kind of drowns it out. But if you're listening, I noticed when I took it on a road trip, because I really just never paid much attention. Until I was really starting to compare that this has way more rattles going on. And if you turn the music up, the doors vibrate, they go crazy, where you can turn the music up 100% in the Tesla Cybertruck and it doesn't vibrate the doors. There's small vibrations here and there. Yes, the dash does vibrate, guys. I will tell you, the dash does vibrate on this truck, and I've just gotten used to that. That's something that Tesla could refine for sure, is the dash vibrating on there. But overall, Tesla definitely wins for quiet ride. Locking tonneau cover. Let's take a little look back here and look at when I'm driving the GMC. I'm always worried about what's going to fly out of the bed of this truck, right? And I put a tonneau cover on my AT4, and it was nice, but you had to like roll it up by hand, and in the wintertime it would get frozen and iced up, and it was flexing like this in the wind, and anybody could have just took a knife and they were inside the tonneau cover. And if you were driving down the road and forgot about it, you forgot about it. The Tesla Cybertruck, though, will show you the position of the tonneau cover on the screen, and it is like a vault. Guys, that's like a vault at a bank. You got a button here, open that guy right up, and of course you have all of this angled area for more space to put your stuff and be secure. And if you want to use the back window, now it doesn't roll down, which might come in Cybertruck 2.0. You can at least see through here and use the rear view mirror, and you can have an open bed if you want, no problem. But when you want to lock things up, you're in an area that's kind of scary, or you just want to make sure it's out of the weather, or you don't want things flying out of it as you go down the road. Oh my gosh. Just kidding. That don't hurt. That don't hurt at all. One up for the Tesla Cybertruck. I've even seen guys who have added tonneau covers to their truck, and I'm gonna tell you, dude, they're bulky and big, and they're taking, the powered ones, they're taking up all kinds of bed space. Cybertruck has it built in, comes with it. You're not paying for an aftermarket tonneau cover. Okay, onboard power. Let's compare the 11,500 watts that you can get out of the Cybertruck when plugged into the house. So if the power goes out, guys, I can power my home with 11,500 watts. Now I'm going to tell you a little update for those that were following on part 1 of my gateway. I'm actually having my new gateway installed this upcoming Friday. Excited. It's been a long time. It's because I was working with an electrical company that I trusted that had to get certified through Tesla. So it's taken some time, but I'm okay with that because I want the electricians that I know to do this job and put it where it belongs and wire it properly, not just as a heavy load, but a whole house load, so I can manage my load. But back here in the Cybertruck, you do have 120 outlet, 120 outlet, and a 5240 outlet that is 240 volts, so you could rescue another EV. You could power a welder, pizza thing, whatever you want, guys. 9,500 watts available in the bed, 11,500 watts available out of the outlet to your home. Okay, This truck has not even enough power to plug in a air compressor. It does have, okay, my other truck, my 2024, whoa, that's a powerful magnet. Look at that. That's the magnet on my, wow. That's the magnet on my microphone that I use for you guys so you can hear me. That's pretty powerful. Anyway, this particular truck doesn't have any power in the bed. Now the 2024 does. It will have power in the bed, and I can look up what that is and I'll put that rating here. It does have an outlet inside the cab that you can use, and I'll show you that. The 2024 model did have a button to click here that would turn on the outlet, but this is where your 120 outlet is. Okay, and I'm able to power my Starlink, but not much more than that. So huge one up for the Tesla Cybertruck. Okay, heat pump. So efficient winter heating, less battery drain. GMC engine heat burns fuel, where the Tesla Cybertruck has a heat pump. So this truck will take a while to warm up in the winter. A lot of guys put cardboard in things. Now, I was always thinking back in the day, why aren't there powered louvers in here to close this off? Why are we putting cardboard and stuff in there? Well, the new GMs and such do have a powered louver closing for the radiator. They finally figured that out. I was thinking of this when I was young. But Tesla Cybertruck has a heat pump, a very advanced heat pump that can use energy from the motors, from the batteries, and can transfer it all around. I mean, we could have a whole video just on the heat pump, but I'm going to tell you guys, I've owned this truck in negative-degree weather and have never been cold, and it heats up within a minute. Within a minute, this thing is already getting warm, and you have the ability to schedule that so that it's warm for you in the morning, and the seats will be warm for you, and the battery's conditioned, and you can do it all from the app. Huge one up over the HVAC system. It does have cooled seats, heated seats in the back, no cooling seats in the back. But even some of the new GMs that I've owned didn't even have heated seats in the back. So another one up for the Tesla Cybertruck. So what else? Maintenance cost. This is a huge one, guys. We're talking no oil, no def, saves thousands a year. GMC diesel's always in the shop, always needs another oil filter, needs a fuel filter, needs all the fluids changed, needs the belts. I mean, it's just on and on and on with the maintenance with this vehicle. And if you're doing the emissions and putting DEF in it, man, if that DEF filter ever plugs up on you, thousands and thousands of dollars in maintenance on this vehicle. Tied to the dealer. You're tied to the dealer. Here, not tied to the dealer. What do I got to do? Rotate my tires, put new tires on every now and then, change the wiper blade once a year, put washer fluid in it, and change the cabin HEPA filtration system with biodefense mode that blocks all the coal rolling guys and anything you throw at it once every 2 years. Other than that, I think there's a 4-year maintenance where they do some cleaning of the coil on the AC to keep it from smelling and stuff like that. But very, very little maintenance, not tied to the dealer, where this is tied to the dealer. They want you back. They want you back for more and more and more. All right, how about tech interface? We come with an 18.5-inch tech interface on the Tesla Cybertruck for gaming, navigations, versus the 2025. Now we're talking the 2025 has a 13.4-inch. So you can definitely see that we're talking even the newest one doesn't even come close to the size of the interface and the coolness of the tech behind the scenes on this truck, guys. Not even close. Okay, so definitely another one up for that. How about emissions free? Zero emissions, clean for the mountains. GMC diesel pollutes. Now I have to tell you guys, the real polluting vehicles, because I'm an HVAC guy, are these unleaded vehicles. I can put a combustion analyzer next to an unleaded vehicle and it will practically break it. Okay, the diesels, they run clean for the most part, but they're still putting out pollution. And you know what no one else talks about is how much oxygen these combustion trucks are using. how much oxygen this truck right here is using while it's going down the road. Like, it's literally taking the air that we breathe to fuel itself. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally like to have more oxygen on my planet and not give it to all the vehicles. In my opinion, unleaded vehicles can go away. I don't believe they're really needed. I think that there's enough electric options out there that you don't even need a unleaded vehicle. Diesels still serve their purpose. Tractors, semis, which are being replaced anyway, but eventually the diesels are just going to go away. I know any of you guys out there that are EV haters are probably going to tell me I'm crazy. You know, Trump's lifting all the mandates, but it's just going to make sense when GM's got 13 EV vehicles, Tesla's kicking butt and taking names, getting ready to announce a smaller truck, and it's just going to keep advancing with graphene batteries and solid state batteries to the point where these just don't make any sense at all, and you can buy it for cheaper and have more range, even when towing. That will come. That day is on its way. So, emissions, one up for the Cybertruck. How about the 360 cameras catching thieves? GMC has no surveillance at all. You don't get the cameras always videoing and doing sentry mode, and how you get a cool owl on the screen that's warning people, and if you break into the truck it plays some crazy Transylvania music so loud you want to get out. And you have the interior camera for dog mode to check on the interior and watch your dogs. Even the 2024s, they don't have any of that. They don't have built-in dash cam where you're driving down the road and you can see all these cameras. And, you know, it's a crazy world. You got to protect yourself. Built-in, don't have to pay for dash cams with the Tesla Cybertruck. Another huge advantage to the Tesla Cybertruck. How about Wi-Fi over-the-air updates? Free updates, okay? No trips to the shop like a GMC needs. You want an update to a GMC, you're gonna have to go to a shop. Now, the new ones, I'm sure, are starting to come out with Wi-Fi over the updates, but Tesla's been doing it forever. Currently, comparing these two vehicles, Cybertruck dominates, wins, hands down, getting new updates, changing all the time. You don't just buy it once and this is how it is forever. You buy it once and it's evolving all the time. Huge one there as well. How about the off-roading? Okay, a lot of guys don't think these things can go up hills even. What about the overland mode, the Baja modes? What about front and rear locking differentials? You only get rear locking differentials on this truck. Plus, you're only getting the 8¼ inch ground clearance, true ground clearance to the pumpkin, versus this lifting up, crawling, articulating the rear wheels and the front, plus all the off-road modes. I could do a whole nother video just on the off-road mode. Like, seriously, all the things that this thing can do in off-road mode, I could do an entire video on. And I have done some videos. You guys can go back in there and check them out. But off-road capabilities, people have no clue. They're lost. They think these things can't even go up hills, let alone all the software that runs behind the scenes, and the locking differentials is amazing. Okay. Has like a cruise assist for when you're in overland mode, where you can just set the cruise and it will just crawl, and you can tap the brake, and the more you push the brake, the more it slows down, and then it goes right back to the speed you had, and you can set it in 0.5 mile-an-hour increments. Isn't that awesome? Okay. How about the per wheel traction control, the insane grip of the per wheel? Each wheel of this truck is being controlled by a computer and reading it at many times per second. You got none of that. You've got differentials in the GMC, old school technology. It cannot even do what this truck can do in off-roading, in my opinion. That's another win for the Tesla Cybertruck. All right, lane assist just keeps getting better, corrects drifts on 287 better than GMC's warning system only. And here again, we're talking about the new 2025. Now, this information is per Grok, so maybe something is wrong there. Maybe there's something new, but the lane assist in the 2025 is not near as good as the Tesla Cybertruck. Blind spot monitoring camera. Visuals on the screen are much clearer than the GMC alerts. It will put a red light up. It has red lights that come up on the actual interior side panels that will show you if there's a vehicle there. If you put your turn signal on and somebody's there, the whole screen on the left or right will turn red, indicating there's a vehicle there. Blind spot monitoring, much better. How about frunk storage? 7.1 cubic feet, powered frunk for camping gear. GMC has none. You push a button here and it opens up and you got room for more stuff, more things, keep organized. I love it. You're not putting anything up there other than def and your money in maintenance. Here we go. Another win for the GMC, or another win for the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, I could tell you in the beginning, it would cut your finger, sure, you know, come on, right in the beginning, things have done things, but for now, they've done software updates. It won't even hurt a banana, okay? So, and if you keep trying, it'll actually push a little harder and push a little harder because it thinks there's bags in there that might be hitting the top. Now, how smart is that? That was over an update. You're not getting that anywhere near with this GMC. How about regenerative braking? Saves energy. GMC uses traditional engine brakes or you know, the exhaust brake or the wheel brakes. I can tell you guys, I was coming down the Teton Pass and we were doing great with the engine brake on at higher speeds. As we had the boost, we had some back pressure. I ran into a dump truck that was only doing 20 miles an hour, which required me to shut this truck down. Next thing I know, I have no engine braking because of my low speed. I've got it in first gear, trying to rev it up as high as I can go. Still not enough. I'm running the brakes. I'm running the brakes. Next thing I know, there's smoke coming out of the back brakes. Scary situation. Don't like it. I much prefer the Tesla Cybertruck's regenerative braking, advanced regenerative braking with trailering as it gets more aggressive based on your trailer, and it learns, and therefore saving the brakes on everything. You don't have to rely on a higher speed to keep your engine brake slowing you down. And you've got regenerative braking plus regular braking and the trailer braking. Tesla Cybertruck wins hands down by longevity of your brakes will probably never even have to be replaced. This thing will go through brakes about every 50, 70,000 miles, and they're not cheap. Here we go. More maintenance. How about interior space? You can seat 5, and with the huge glass roof and the big dash in here, when you get in here and you're sitting down, look at all that space. It's huge, and guys, it's not hard to see like over the hood of the GMC, but you get in here and it's got lots of headroom and seats 5 just like the other truck, but all that space in there, it's been well thought out. You come in here and you've got the dash right up against your knees. Plus, it's super tall. You can barely see over the hood. It feels crammed compared to the Tesla Cybertruck. There's really no dash. Everything's right here, and there's no tall ceiling. You don't get the glass. You do get the sunroof, which could be an advantage for people who want that to open, as that Cybertruck does not do that. We could give one up for the GMC for having an ability to open the top, but I'm gonna tell you right now, much more spacious feeling in here, and it's deceiving. People don't even think that it has even 5 seats. I remember Chris telling me I didn't even know it had a rear door, and so they can't see where the bed starts in the cab, so they can't visualize how much space there is inside the Tesla Cybertruck. Definitely going to give another one up for the Cybertruck on the interior spacious feel. On the warranty, you're going to get 8 years or 150,000 miles on the drivetrain and the batteries with the Tesla Cybertruck. GMC has a 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty, and that's on their drivetrain alone. So definitely a better warranty. Plus you get a 50,000 bumper to bumper on the Cybertruck, where here you're only going to get a 35,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. Okay. How about charging costs? It's going to cost me about $6 At 6 cents a kilowatt, cost me about $6 to go 270 miles. That's with aggressive tires. That's with the roof rack and everything on it. I get about 270 miles of range in the summertime. Wintertime, that can vary down to almost maybe 230 miles of range in a really cold day, but still, it's always been enough range for me to get anywhere I need to go, even if I have to stop and top off a little bit in Wellington or wherever. There's charging stations everywhere. So cost to fill up this guy right here is about $120. This guy I can do for $6. Now, yes, I'm going to get more range out of that truck for sure. Okay. So one up for the diesel for range, right? So definitely going to be able to fill up faster, get out. That's two. You're going to have faster filling. That's one. And longer range with this truck. So those are going to be advantages, but you pay for it. I'd rather save my money. Honestly, every time I feel like I'm driving this, I'm opening my pocketbook. I'm just like, here you go. Just paying. Okay. How about the future? How about the futuristic design? Now, the GMC just blends in with all the other GMCs, but yes, people, humanity, humans, they're used to what they are used to, and so they're going to gravitate towards something that they're used to. Where this is new, different, people hate it or love it. It's different. It's not the same, but it stands out. I don't want to be like everybody else driving the same thing just because somebody doesn't like the way it looks, right? So I had a lady that was laughing at us as we drove by the other day, and she just couldn't, and you could tell it was like a fake laugh, right? It was like a, it was like, come on. It was just ridiculous. And she just, one, either she hates Elon or whatever's going on in her head, but she don't understand any of this, and that's okay. People are going to hate on you. People are going to misunderstand you. But just with anything that's new, that's going to happen. Humans are not good with change. But I'm still giving one up for Tesla for having the balls to make something completely different, look completely different, and know that this is going to be something that people are probably not going to like. But to understand that they didn't make it to look this way because they wanted it to look like this. They made it look like this because of the aerodynamics and the efficiency. Real quick example, the GMC Hummer has the same range as the Tesla Cybertruck, but has a 200 something kilowatt battery pack. How do you charge that every night and be ready for the next day? And you're paying how much more to drive it just because you like the way the Hummer looks? Come on. We got to get over looks and start thinking about functionality. Okay, so that could be a toss-up to both, whether you just can't get over it and you need that old truck design. How about home charging? How about that I don't have to stop at a diesel station with this truck and get my hands dirty with diesel or put on gloves or step in their damn diesel fuel that's all over the ground. And this truck's just ready for me every morning. I just come home, plug it in, done, unplug it in the morning, go. So in reality, over time, I'm spending a lot less time fueling up my vehicle than this vehicle. Think about it. Over time, everyone's just looking at that one road trip. Oh God, yeah, the diesel won on that one road trip. Well, what about the ownership? What about the 100,000 plus miles? How much time am I actually spending charging or fueling versus that truck? I can guarantee you I'm spending more time on that truck, that diesel, getting it fueled up over its lifetime than this any day, because 99% of the time my charges are just fine at home with the Tesla Cybertruck. So definitely one up for that. Okay, smooth acceleration. You get linear power, no shifts, and just glides with the Tesla Cybertruck. The GMC diesel, you kind of push the pedal and you're waiting, and then it kind of woo, and then jolts on you, right? So you don't have like the pedal in the Cybertruck. You push it, it is what it is. It happens immediately. The diesel, no, you wait, or it's just, it feels like I'm always punching the pedal up and down. There's all this movement. You're always working with this. You're a lot less pedal movement and a lot smoother acceleration. All right, here's a big one. Steer by wire, guys, is amazing in the Tesla Cybertruck. One of my ultimate favorite things is that I'm not hand over hand trying to turn the wheel in the Tesla Cybertruck. It's done. There's no hand over And the steer-by-wire is incredible. And yes, it can use some updates on the towing. Yes, but that can come with software. Another thing that's cool, software updates are going to make the towing even better. This old clunky type of steering, nah, no way. This is revolutionary in the steer-by-wire, and you would have to drive it to experience it. Trust me. Huge one up for the Cybertruck on that. How about rust? Now in the beginning, everyone, oh, it's rusting. Look at all the rust. And that was just rust particles that were in the stainless on the surface. The truck is not going to rust. It's a stainless steel body, resists corrosion forever. GMC needs paint protection. If you take any paint off that truck, it's going to start rusting. And there are areas that have rusted already on this truck. We had to have a big bed patch done on this truck because it was rusting out. We got areas on the handles, and look at these cheap plastic handles. What is this? Cheap plastic handles that they just feel cheap, and you know, paint missing under here, and it's going to start to rust. It hasn't yet, so I've got some paint filler for that. But you know, this definitely rusts out all along the bottom, and things will happen if you're not paying attention. And so I don't care what anybody says, rust along here. This thing's not going to rust. They tried to say, oh, this Cybertruck's going to rust, and no. Nah, it's not happening, guys. So we're talking a huge one-up for the longevity of this truck and its rustability, and that's going to be really big in places where they use salt. They're using a lot of salt in the wintertime. How about bullet resistant? Seriously, guys. I mean, the world we live in, this thing is bullet resistant. Look it up. There's other videos where YouTubers are willing to shoot their truck. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm not looking for those kind of hits. But yes, this can handle bullets. This thing, no. Then the movies where they open the door and they're shooting behind it, you're dead, man. Hey, that door ain't stopping nothing. Nothing. A 22 can penetrate the GMC. A 22, I mean, 9mm. I think even a 45 round has a hard time getting through the Cybertruck. Okay, that's a big one for, you know. It really is. Okay. Low center of gravity. We talked a little bit about that. It's going to be able to handle the stability of turning much more when you're in one of these trucks. They are just all over when it comes to stability when you're turning quickly. And the Cybertruck has much better stability when it comes to turning. How about top speed? Now we're talking the Cyber Beast can go 130 miles an hour. I believe this one's 113 or 115. That truck can't do more than 100 miles an hour. My AT4 would stop at 97 miles an hour. Top speed, diesel cannot do it. So the Tesla Cybertruck wins there. How about current tax incentives? When I bought my truck, I saved $7,500 on the federal tax, and then I saved another $5,000 on state. Some places like North Carolina, I believe, are $7,500 on the state. So you're going to see huge tax incentives and savings. So this truck's around $67,000. It's normally $80,000, but you got to think about all the savings in fuel and maintenance. I save around $700 a month driving this versus a gas truck, let alone a diesel truck. Okay, so that's a huge one. How about the Tesla app? GMC app's very basic. The Tesla app, you can preheat it. In some of the vehicles, you can summon the vehicle out of a parking lot. I can open the doors with the app, guys. And I'll just show you that real quick. On the Cybertruck, I can actually open the doors of the vehicle. And I don't know if you can see this, guys, in the sun, but there's little arrows here. Let me open the driver's door with my phone. I mean, how cool is that? How about the back door? Let's open that too. Isn't that awesome? I mean, you got somebody with their hands full and they're like, honey, can you open the door for me? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't open all the way, but it opens, right? Another cool thing about this, and I found this very interesting, is that when you're looking at the truck, it actually knows the exact position of the door. It's not on this area, but I could see it on the dash. The dash knows the exact position of the door. Now, what kind of sensors are at play to show you, I'm shaking the door, how far open the door is? Isn't that awesome? Sorry, the sun's probably right in there, but the truck knows the exact position of the door. I find that incredible. All right, so just huge things you can do with the app when it comes to even viewing the dash cam, the security. You can schedule it, you can figure the location, you can look for upgrades, you can even get your service here, and it will automatically tell the service department what part it needs and make sure they're ready for you at the service department. Another one up for the Tesla Cybertruck when it comes to service and how you can do it on the app, and how you doesn't have to have a check engine light. It will actually tell you what's wrong with it. Right? You don't need the OBD readers and all this stuff that ties you to the dealership, guys. And there's a lot of videos circulating right now about whistleblowers coming out about GM and Ford and Dodge and how they've been putting plastic parts in the transmission so they'll fail at 100,000 miles. Who wants to support that? Not me. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so that's, I mean, like a lot of these things we could do an entire video on, guys. I'm just trying to get through all the points here. Biodefense mode, the HEPA filter cleans the air. The cab is sealed. The cab on the GMC is far from sealed. You can push the recirc button on and you're still going to smell every pollution coming in there, where this truck is sealed. And that's something we didn't talk about on the off-road mode. There is a wade button mode where you can select wade, and that will pressurize the battery pack and allow you to have water up to the windows for 30 minutes. So how well is this sealed? If you can drive it in water to the windows for up to 30 minutes, and it's in the manual, they approve it. Wow, I don't know, man. Just making a lot of sense, isn't it, the Cybertruck? Okay, let's go on. How about dog mode? Keep your pet safe in there with the AC on. GMC can't do that. You got to have the truck running or the windows down. This one will show the little doggy on the screen that they're safe and what temperature they're at, and you can go into the app and check on your furry friends. Big one for me on that. How about no paint scratches, guys? How about no paint scratches? Stainless steel finish hides scratches. GMC will paint and chip, and you can buff out any scratches if you don't have a wrap. You can't do that on a GMC. You're not buffing anything. You can buff out light little surface scratches, but not somebody who keys it. If you key this truck without a wrap, just go back with a buffer and it's done. That's a big one. All right, 48 volt architecture with the Cybertruck. So there's only 12 volt in the GMC, less wiring needed, and that is just completely revolutionary in this truck, but people don't even understand what that means. And so we're not going to dive into that because it's a whole nother video on the 48 volt architecture, but Tesla took it to the next level when it came to how they did the 800 volt battery pack and the 48 volt low voltage system. Cool stuff. Tesla took the money and the investment to build the supercharged network for these vehicles, and it cost them, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars, but it gave us the ability to travel the country because we didn't have chargers back then. So Tesla was putting that money in, and what has GM done for that? Very, very little chargers for their vehicles, and now they're using Teslas and third-party chargers. So another huge one for Tesla to take the investment to push through the vandalism and the hate and keep repairing the chargers as they get vandalized. One up for Tesla on that. How about resale value? Tesla holds better value than, now maybe not the Cybertruck with all the crazy stuff with Elon and how they want to say this. Now, I'm not getting into that, and I don't care, but most Tesla's resale value is higher, and the diesel does drop off quite a bit. Let's look at the frameless windows. So you get a sleek, modern look when you have the frameless windows. These trucks are standard. Now you could put that is one thing that's nicer. I'll give up one for old technologies. You can put these visors, if you will, for rain, so you can crack your window and it's not raining in. Cybertruck, you couldn't do that. It would still come in. Because they are frameless. Now let's look at the purchase price. So this one's $79,990, and then this one new, a 2025, pretty close. It would be $89,000. Now that's cheap for these. These go over $100,000 easily. So you're still beating it. And then if you get federal and state incentives, this thing is way cheaper than this. And then the maintenance and then the fuel, no brainer there. Well, let's go ahead and give some more points to the GM. So we're trying to be fair here. Of course, the towing capacity is higher, right? This one can haul a fifth wheel. So if you've got a fifth wheel, this really isn't the choice for you, right? You're going to use this. And unfortunately, the fifth wheel must be that important that you're willing to spend all that money and open your pocketbook and drive one of these. That's fine. This one says it's rated at 22,500 pounds. This one would be rated at 11,000 pounds. Okay, so you're definitely going to have an advantage for that. How about range? Yes, unloaded, you can get about 700, 600 miles of range out of this. At best, with good tires and all that, you're going to get 318, 320 out of this. So definitely, we've got one for the range. Fueling speed. Okay, we're going to be 5 minutes maybe, right? If you really just fuel and go, right? 5 minutes, where this could take 20 to 30 minutes depending on what you're doing and how far you're going. All right, proving towing history, decades of reliable towing with diesels, yes. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'd much rather tow with my Cybertruck than this any day. And that has to do with a lot of factors: rear wheel steering, how smooth it is, auto leveling, the torque, the instant response. And this truck is just expensive, rough on your back. But yeah, proving towing history. Payload capacity. So it looks like you can put about 6,644 pounds of gear in that truck. The Cybertruck will do 2,500 pounds. I really don't need more than 2,500 pounds of payload, so I've been doing just fine with the Cybertruck. But yes, one up for the GMC when it comes to payload. Bed size, yes, the Cybertruck has a 6-foot bed with no other options, but at least it's not like a Rivian that has a tiny little bed, or a Ford. He comes with even smaller beds in some models. But yes, you get the big 8-foot bed on this truck. So yes, you're going to get more storage, aftermarket support, tons more parts for the GMC, but this one's catching up, man. There's a lot of parts coming out for these guys. But right now, yeah, aftermarket support's better, of course, because it's been around longer. Now, Grok is saying engine longevity, 200,000 miles with this truck. You could get more, yes, I'm sure. But I'm going to still say that over time, this is going to beat it. These motors are made to work 1,000,000 miles. The batteries are going to last you reliably minimum 200,000 miles, as a recent email came out from Tesla announcing that. But for what they know for history, yes, this truck may have more miles of longevity, but I would argue that, but we're still trying to get a couple points over here on the GMC. Now, Grok gave one for cold weather starting. Diesel starts instantly in sub-zero. No battery prep like the GMC. I would say that's also a fine line, as you need to plug these in at night when it's really cold, or they won't even start. You have to put fuel additive in the diesel, or it could gel up on you. So I'm still going to say this is better, because no matter what, I can jump in it at -10 degrees. It's going to go down the road. Yes, it's going to take a while to condition and things, but this thing, dude, this is going to be warmer faster. This is going to take longer to warm up. And if you don't put your anti-gel in there and other things, you're going to have issues with this truck in cold weather. And they do start rough and smoke all over the place when you start them right up without an engine heater plugged in. Now, there is a heavier frame on this truck, and a lot of misconception. They say, oh, these electric trucks, they weigh so much, they're destroying our roads. This is a 7,500 pound truck with all of its accessories on it, 7,000 pounds from the factory. This truck is weighing in, I believe, around 9,000 pounds. So that argument is junk when they say that these trucks are going to destroy our roads. No, these trucks are destroying our roads. They weigh thousands of pounds more, a ton or more, and they're in rear-wheel drive all the time, which is causing the washboards on the dirt roads. This thing's in all-wheel drive and is not skipping its back end and causing washboards. So, no, I 100% the Cybertruck is better when it comes to that. And now I would say the service network is probably a little bit better for the GM, because they've been around longer. They got more service centers, right? They got more places for you to waste your money and be stuck there and spend money on oil changes and breakdowns and DEF fuel filters and all the other junk that comes with this truck. I have a service center in Loveland, Colorado. There's another one in Aurora, but yeah, there's less of them, right? But guess what? You don't need them near as much, so who cares, right? And also, Tesla offers to come to your home in most cases and work on your vehicle for minor things like light changes and things like that. Like a headlight went out on a Model Y. They came to my house and replaced it right here in front of my garage. Thank you, Tesla, for doing that, by the way. And it was inexpensive, and that's something we're also not talking about. This camera down here in the front of this truck cost me $250 to replace. Okay? This fender, because I got a big rock on it, this fender right here cost me $53. This mud flap, if you will. It was actually a back one. Cost me $53 to replace. And that was with parts and labor. I guarantee you, you go to GM and you want this thing replaced right here, it ain't going to be $53 installed. No way, dude. So misconception as well. Tesla parts are inexpensive. I remember when I first got this truck, they're like, how much that windshield wiper cost you? Hundreds of dollars. No, I think it was like 75 bucks, and it's only one. So when you're getting two of them and you get quality ones, what are you saving, $5-10 to do this? And these things are like little baby ones. They're like, once you get used to this big, powerful, strong windshield wiper, and then you jump into this truck and you turn on the windshield wiper, it's like, this little baby thing, and I just make fun of it now. It's so funny. Heck yes, we make fun of it, don't we? Yes, we do. So, all about what you're used to, right? So I guess that's already an hour of me filming, talking about the things that the Cybertruck is better at than the diesel. And I really haven't even dived into everything, guys. Honestly, there's more and more than that. There's the fact that the bed is lit up with lights that are adjustable. There's tent mode, camp mode, when this thing wants to level itself. So you get to your place you want to camp, you hit a button and the whole truck levels itself. Now, I do give one up for the new GMC, which has the multi-pro tailgate. I really like that, and I think there's plenty of room to do updates to this tailgate in the future. But it does come where you don't have to do the spray and bed liner. That's all like a really hard composite plastic. But you also have all these adjustable tie downs along the sides that you can adjust to your custom however you want them. There's tie downs down here. That this is a floor mat that is made by Tesla, but they've already pre-cut in where all their tie downs are. And I just love this. At night, I can see everything that I'm doing. I can change the way I lock things down based on what I want to do. You can't, I mean, maybe the new trucks you can, but obviously in this truck you can't. Very basic, just a bed, and you have to put a spray and bed liner on it. That is not coming unless you order that as another feature for that. So really love that. What else? Like the truck lowers itself for towing. So when you pull up to your trailer, you come in at entry, lift it up to medium, less jack working. So I like that. And if this will suffice for your towing needs, this is all you need, and you will enjoy it a lot more than this guy. When, you know, look at how big these areas are for you to clip on your safety chains. I get it. It's made for big loads. Yes, I get it. But at the same time, at least Tesla made them easy for me for my case use. For all my trailers that I use, this is a lot easier to use. Clip on and go. I can also tell you that Chevy is very sensitive to any sort of grounding issues with your trailer. So these things will go bing, 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 and drive you nuts. Bing, 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 as your trailer is constantly bing, 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 disconnecting because there is a small amount of resistance beyond what they want to see, which I believe Grok said was 2.5 ohms, and your trailer brakes will just completely disconnect. The Tesla Cybertruck has never disconnected my trailer brakes and has never thrown me an error message, even though I know there are some issues with one of my trailers, but it still overcomes that, and it still uses the trailer brakes, where this truck will throw an error message and shut them off completely. And that goes for my 2015 Chevy as well. Another advantage to the Cybertruck. And it also shows you how much brakes are being applied on the trailer, on the screen. There are games you can play. When you're parked, you can watch Netflix, you can watch Hulu, you can listen to your favorite music. Guys, I mean, I don't know how anybody would want to buy a diesel truck today unless you have these needs: a fifth wheel, a very large camper trailer, or you have to go long distances with those trailers. If you're buying a truck for any other reason, just because of its looks, you are missing out. You are missing out, because I live here in Colorado and so many people judge me for this, but they are so clueless on all the things that this thing can do that they just, if I could spend 30 minutes with them and talk to them about what this can do. Do you know there's $80,000 worth of power walls available inside this when it reverse powers my home? $80,000 worth, the same amount. I mean, there's so many things, guys, that I can't even think of all the things that this thing does better while I'm trying to do a video than that other truck. Like I said, though, if you need a big trailer, you got a fifth wheel or something like that, yes, your diesel is going to shine. But see, like that trailer right down there, I would have no problem hauling that trailer. And I would have no problem taking that from my house all the way to town, running all the chores, running all the things I need to do, and making it all the way back home with this truck. And as version 2.0 comes out, graphene and solid state batteries, these things are going to get amazing. They're going to have lifting tailgates. This one does not have a lifting tailgate, but it does have an auto drop tailgate, and so does that truck. It has an auto dropping tailgate, but they match when it comes to that. So I guess that's going to be this video, and I sure appreciate you guys coming along and listening to me rant about this. And I felt like I had to say so much that I kind of choked up a few times trying to spit out all the things that this thing could do compared to this thing. And look at the tires. I mean, it's just, gosh, compared to 18s, and there's just so much going on. And yes, I can't wait for my light bar for this truck. I'm going to put it on there. I'm waiting for Tesla's. I just like Tesla's design. But yeah, they had to cut into the grill on this one to install one and put new fog lights on. But guys, these lights don't get covered in snow any more than these lights get covered in snow. The snow packs against the lights. It's going to pack against the lights. And I haven't had any issues with that. And this has way better lighting and brights. I'm going to give another one up right now. Lights, headlights on this truck, 1,000 times better than this truck. 1,000, I'm telling you. I can see so much better with the stock headlights than these junky headlights that come with this truck. Now, one more I can think of, one up for the GM, would be the mirrors. They do go out farther for towing. So yes, you would have to add mirror extensions to the Cybertruck, but I can tell you the way that they design the mirrors to come out long like that, I have no issues. And even hauling my big Grand Design camper, I didn't really feel like I couldn't see. And I would just look, maybe I'd do just a little turn on the wheel and the trailer would just turn a little bit and I could see right behind me. But you know, of course you should add a camera to the back of your trailer or camper and you'll be just fine. You'll be able to see what's behind you. The days of needing these huge, long, extended mirrors are pretty much gone, because the cameras on the fender when I'm turning show me what's along the vehicle, and then remote cameras on the back of your trailers will show you what's behind you. That's really all you need. Has tow hooks like both. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I love the brake lights on this, the big light that shows up here. And when you're in tent mode, you can change the brightness and the way the lights light up here and in the bed and the front of the truck, which gives you lighting while you're camping. And I'm going to do a little video about new features that I would love to see come to the Cybertruck that can be done with just software. This truck, no software, none of that. Appreciate you guys coming along and listening to me rant about the Tesla Cybertruck. If you know anybody who is considering this and just does not understand it, maybe send them my video and they'll see some of the heavy hitting options that come with this. Oh, and there's also the rear screen, guys, that come in this truck. I'm not sure if the 2025 GMC has a rear screen yet, but when your kiddos are back here and they're asking you, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, guess what? When you navigate to where you're going, it tells you how long you have left till you get there. How about watching some YouTube? How about when they put their Bluetooth headphones in, they can be back here and have an entertainment center. They can control their seats. They can control the games. How about these games they can play back here? Come on, that's awesome. And they're always adding more and changing all of this, which is fun. So here's where you get into your Bluetooth devices, screen brightness, if you need to clean it. And of course the HVAC is completely adjustable. So you got this one on the left here. Not sure, there it is. And you can change that one, you can change the one in the middle, change the one on the right. Look at this, you can even move the seat forward. Where is that button? Oh, look at that. It's actually just kind of pointing up or pointing down automatically. But I know there's a way to move the seat forward when, here it is. Let's say you don't have enough room back here, guys. Oh yeah. Look at that. When nobody's sitting in that seat, you can hit a button and it moves right forward for your people in the back. And look, guys, completely flat. So your dogs can lay down in here flat and not have a hump in the middle and all these weird things going on all over the place like in that other truck. You got outlets in the back, you got USB-C, total of 2. The kiddos can plug in their devices and do their thing. Awesomeness. Oh, and these doors, guys, they open 90 degrees. Look at that, 90 degrees to give you easy access to get in and out of the truck. Look how thick they are. You feel secure. You feel like, oh, I got something to protect me. Let's go take a look at the GM's back seat and why my dogs were miserable. What is this? A big lip down here, big hump in the middle. This is not comfortable for your dogs to lay on. So we had to put a big bed in here. There's no screen. There's not even HVAC back here. Not even on the floor. So you're hot. You're not comfortable. And these seats are not near as comfortable as the Tesla Cybertruck. The stereo system, guys, we didn't even talk about the stereo system. Way better in the Tesla Cybertruck. We're talking amazingly better in the Cybertruck. The bass, the subwoofers are clean. The doors don't rattle. Incredible sound system in the Tesla Cybertruck. See, if I just keep this video going, I just keep thinking of things that are better with this truck. But I'm going to let you guys experience it for your own. Go to Tesla.com, do a test drive, check it out. Check out my referral code in the link if you guys want to purchase one, because this is how Tesla works. We share this information and there's no commercials out there, and you have to learn about these on your own or from a friend or from a video and do your own research. The running lights, amazing. What about light show? This thing does a dance and a light show and can play the windows move up and down and plays music all loud. And you can hear it in my voice. I'm just so excited. I just can't get enough information out in less than an hour's time on all the things this thing does, guys. It's that incredible. And I just wish that I could show everybody this video and they would just change their mind right and left about this truck. If it fits your needs, which it would fit most people's needs, and you need a truck, this is the truck. You don't want a Rivian that went almost bankrupt, that Jeff Bezos of Amazon has to support to keep alive. You want to support a Tesla who pushed the electric car revolution, who put the chargers in place for you guys, who fought through all of the no dealership where dealers were making money on you. You purchase these on your phone. You purchase these on the computer. You don't have all those dealer fees and somebody trying to make money on you, standing around like a vulture ready to run up on you when you show up to the car dealership like a GM would. Another one up for the Tesla. You're not in a high pressure sales environment with dealers with salesmen coming after you, trying to sell you on the next truck. And I'm telling you, watch the videos, research what's going on with the whistleblowers with GM and how they're designing these vehicles to fail at 100,000 miles. Tesla doesn't need you in their service department. Tesla doesn't need that to keep their vehicles alive. They have their profits on every vehicle they sell. Most EVs that are sold by GM and Ford sell at a loss, guys. So they got to make it up somewhere else. And Tesla's not doing that. And they don't mark up their parts. They want you, if you have a problem, to be able to afford the part. And I've had guys tell me, well, what about the batteries? What are you going to do when that battery fails? I've never had one fail. I've never had a problem. And the warranty is 150,000 miles. I think it might be 125. Look up, the vehicles are a little different, but still, that's 4 to 5 to 6 years of use that you can rely on, that you know this vehicle is going to have a good range, keep most of its battery capacity. And honestly, I've never noticed a difference because it's always telling you how much battery power you're going to have when you arrive. So it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's all just thought out for you. Just type it in and go. It's all programmed. It's going to plan your entire trip. It's going to plan your entire trip to where you need to go. And this wiper, guys, another one up for the Cybertruck. The wiper has 9 sprayer heads in it, okay? And it's heated. Now, the wiper itself's not heated. I changed the wiper. There's no way it's heated. There's no plug there. So it has to be a heating coil where it rests. That's the only thing I can think of, is that there's a heating coil here. But look at this. I can move the wiper wherever I want. Why is that? Because there's no gears. Because this is powered by a DC variable frequency drive motor. I believe that's what they call that. So the second I get into the truck, it's going to put that wiper blade right back where it's supposed to be. And it also changes based on aerodynamics. So based on your speed, it's going to change that as well. Man, on and on. Heated mirrors, heated windshield wiper. This can handle up to 1 inch thick ice, guys. If you're worried about where's my handle, where do I grab onto it? Well, even if there's 1 inch thick of ice, the plunger is so powerful that it'll push that open. There's that plunger down there doing its thing. And the steering wheel is so comfortable, guys. Comfortable steering wheel. How about the RGB lighting? How about all the beautiful lighting that goes along the Cybertruck and how it dances with the music? And I haven't even gotten into the software, guys. Let's see. Watch when I hit the brake. See? Everything's going to where I need it to be. My seat is where it's at. This is really nice interface. I can close. I'm not sure. A lot of times the sun makes this hard to see, but I can close the tonneau. You know, right here. I can open the tailgate. I can open the charger. I can open the frunk. I can do all of that. And in here you've got all your settings, full self-driving, autopilot, your locks, your lights, your seats, your display, your schedule, safety, and on and on and on. And don't let them tell you, oh, somebody went through a car wash and broke it. Well, that's why car wash mode is here. And yeah, you might have to learn how to use car wash mode, but it's because when you put pressure on the charging port, it opens. And it doesn't know that you're doing it or water's doing it. So just pay attention and hit the car wash mode. It's not that hard. It's easy to do. And you can even take it through the automated car washes. I had someone tell me, don't pressure spray the bottom of that battery. It'll mess. No, dude. What do you think's happening when you're driving down the wet road and water's blowing up on the bottom of the Cybertruck? You don't think that's kind of equivalent of a pressure sprayer? I mean, no. You don't have to worry about that stuff, guys. Don't let all of that stuff's just I don't know, maybe it happened to one guy, I don't know, but I've never had a problem with pressure spraying my truck. Now you can save the sound that you like. You can create presets for different types of music, so you can just click that. It's got immersive sound, like I said, just sounds amazing in the Cybertruck. You got your accent lighting that's coming on. You can pick the different sources of music that you want. You can check for upgrades, so over time they come out with upgrades, whether it's a speed upgrade, connectivity upgrade, things like that, Bluetooth. You can go into your service and you can see your cameras. You can even adjust your lights, guys. How many times have you guys wanted to adjust your headlights? Okay? How many times have you wanted to up or lower your headlights, and you had to get out with a wrench in that truck, and you're going to have to adjust your headlights? Here, you push a button. Another awesome feature. You can do driver's seat, steering calibration. It will save locations that you put it into high mode on the suspension. So let's say there's a pothole somewhere every day you go to in the truck, you know, if you click high, you can click stay in high for 25 miles an hour or remember this location. So every time I go into like a coffee shop, I put it in high because I like to be up high and be on the level of the people. It automatically raises up to high every time I show up to those locations. Isn't that awesome? I mean, incredible. You're towing and hauling. You put your adaptive regenerative braking in there, so you can figure out, it'll do more braking. You could turn on your trailer auxiliary power and connected trailer accessories. You can control your trailer brakes with the wheel or from a button on the screen. It does the trailer light test. It does a trailer alarm, so if somebody disconnects your trailer, it'll alert you and have an alarm go off. You got trailer boost, you got mileage, you can maintain the maintenance of your trailer brake gains. You can go in here and set up whatever trailer you got, and it's going to keep track of that trailer and the maintenance and the miles that you got on it. You can click it into trailer mode. It'll tell you here if it's red, it's like, hey, I don't have anything connected. There might be a problem. It turns blue if it's good. See, guys, I can just keep going on and on. What about how I like the acceleration to be? What about the ride and handling? I can pick focused or relaxed. I can pick sport mode. I can do custom modes. I can do comfort modes. I can do preferred ride heights. I want to be higher or lower. What about engaging the rear locking differential so you start slipping? What about slippery surfaces such as snow and ice and roads? So here you go. You can put that in. Auto shift, auto park is awesome. It just knows when I hit the brake and my seatbelt's on, it knows if I want to go forward or backwards. You have it up here in manual mode. So if you ever need to come up here and you need to play around with this because for some reason your screen went blank, you can still drive the truck with the screen blank. It's still a separate software system that runs the truck's steering and acceleration and braking. So if you broke the screen somehow or the screen failed on you, you can still drive this truck. Even if a motor fails out of 2 on this truck, you can still drive the truck in limp mode and get yourself to the service department. I'm out of breath, guys. This thing is incredible. It's connected to my Wi-Fi Starlink up here. It's got touch-sensitive lighting that adjusts on brightness. See how it's not quite as bright, and I touch it, it's brighter now. I just slide my fingers, so I don't have to know exactly where that's at. These are awesome with the big windshield. You got double layout for blocking the sun. Of course, you got your mirror there with a light. These things can fold back for you and out of the way, and now you have this immensely huge windshield, which is just incredible. Love the view of the sky. I can put this off to the side. Clicks back in with a magnet. On and on, dude. The seats are incredibly comfortable. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? What do you think of the Tesla Cybertruck? I honestly think it's beyond its time. I think that Elon is so smart that he has thought past years and years. He's rethought the pickup entirely. Look at all the space down here that I can put stuff. Huge area in here with a 110 outlet and USB-C plugs. The light bar up there has the ability to go into outlets and mods. Power feed for the roof, power feed for the frunk. If you want to add that, cyber temp mode, keep the outlets on for 12 hours, keep your accessories on. Right now I'm charging a battery pack in the back, which keeps my cooler cold. It's using 700 watts approximately. I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. I've been going through so much of this. This is just incredible, guys. Absolutely incredible. Look at this. That's 100%. 100%. Most comfortable steering wheel I've ever owned in my life. No, I get into this truck over here and I'm like, why is my hand way up in my... Oh, because it has this big instrument panel with all this wasted space. Here, flat, comfortable, so comfortable to hold on to this wheel. Love the Cybertruck wheel more than anything. Now, I've driven the other Model X's and stuff that have, is it called the snorkel or whatever? No, it's huge and wide and bangs into my legs, and no. This one, they did this right. This wheel is right. I love that I have a spot for my foot. I can push down and I feel comfortable. I feel planted. And that truck, it's just let me show you, it's just a bunch of weird carpet, and you feel like you're breaking stuff. You feel like you're gonna push through into some wires or something, you know, and it's spongy and it doesn't feel grounded. I mean, all these little things, like where nothing, you're actually pushing in to carpet. Oh, and there's functions and there's possibly even wires. I don't know. Stupid manual Emergency brake, what is that? Mine's automatic, mine's powered, right? You got to add switches and things. You got to add the charger. And yeah, that charger does get hot. That is a complaint, I know, but you can plug it in USB-C or do your own mount. Here's that big blocking my view hand up here, but you know, this is the tough guy. So I got to have my truck. Got to have it, you know. And that's why once you understand that it's not about how it looks, it's not all about that, you will enjoy this a lot more. And see, here's my battery pack back here charging. So the reason I use that is so that when the truck is plugged in, the outlets turn off, that this just stays on all the time. And this is my cooler, keep my drinks nice and cold. And I am needing a drink right now. I am parched from talking about, I got a new lid coming for this, by the way, guys. It did warp, but I am tired. 78 minutes I've been talking about the Cybertruck and the GM, and I just can't stop talking about how great this truck is. I didn't even show you guys the storage under here. There's a whole nother storage compartment under here that you can turn into a cooler that has a drain in it. Insane. 4 mounts all the way up to do whatever you want with, whether you don't want this full rack and you just want to put on like a snowboard or ski rack. You got 4 of them on this truck, built in, ready to go. Do you got that on here? No. No. I'm telling you guys, night and day difference. Save the pocketbook. Enjoy. The future is here. And y'all can judge all you want, but you don't know what you're missing. And yes, we still need the diesels. Don't get me wrong. They still serve their purpose. But for most of us, this truck is going to give you everything you need and want. And you might find out that that big trailer that you have, that big camper you got, because you ended up buying another diesel that could pull more and do more, but it just opened up your pocketbook even more. And now you start to realize you don't need all that. You can get a smaller camper. You can get something that doesn't kill your pocketbook. And it's everything you still need and you can enjoy. And you can get into almost any camping spot. And you can go dry camping and do all these things. And you're not hauling a 30+ foot long camper like I am. And I can't wait to sell that camper and get into something smaller, like a expedition trailer or a Nobo or something like that I can enjoy this truck with. And you can bring a generator, you can make your own fuel, you can use the sun, you can use a generator, you can use water, you can use all kinds of ways to produce electricity. So now you're making your own fuel. I don't know how many of you can make your own diesel fuel, but I sure can't. Well, I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because honestly, I think I could go on for about another hour, not kidding you, of all the awesomeness that I love of this truck over this truck. Thanks for coming along with this one. I sure appreciate you guys watching. I hope you like my new name channel, Mountain Tesla, because I'm going to show you guys, I mean, our Model 3s are up here, our Model Ys up here. You can see where I live in this beautiful area, but we deal with dirt roads and we deal with snow, mud, and ice, and they do just fine. We don't have problems. And so many people think you're going to have problems. They think you're not going to be able to drive up a dirt road in an electric car, or you're going to be stranded. And honestly, I'd much rather be stuck in a traffic jam in this than that any day. Any day. Entertainment factor. When I want to charge, it's healthier to get out and walk. See, here I go. I just keep going and going, and I just don't know where to stop. I just don't know where to stop. But I'm going to stop here. Thank you guys. It's been fun, and we'll see you guys on the next one. And if you guys have any videos that you'd like to see me do, please put them in the comments below. I would love to show you guys my Model Y, my Model 3s. I'm going to share you a little bit about some of the pain points right now with FSD, because we're working on it. We got a big update coming in September. And I'm going to do a little video on the features that I would like Tesla to bring to this truck. But I do want to shout out, thank you, Elon. Thank you, engineers at Tesla. Thank you for everybody behind the scenes who was willing to do this, get out of the mold, get out of the box, and not screw the customer and make something incredible that was so beyond what people could even understand that it will take years for people to understand what the Tesla Cybertruck really is and what it can do. Thank you, Tesla. And thank you for watching, and all of you YouTubers out there. The community is amazing. I love the YouTube community. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. All right.